This was from the Joint Finance Committee meeting Thursday, the 16th in Dover, Delaware. Legislative Hall. February 16th, 2023. The details are important.
Sorry. For those online, you missed me saying thank you to everybody. We've done this in court a few times, by the way. Thank you. That's it. Okay.
You're welcome to stand if you do it live.
Well,
Please
again,
proceed, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. I want to thank my team, State Court Administrator Gail Lafferty, who's here, Deputy State Court Administrator and Financial Wizard Evelyn Nesterode, and our Controller Kyle Baranski, who's here as well. I should just let Evelyn make the presentations because she pretty much knows everybody, and you'd give her whatever she asked for anyway. So to have people coming in and out of the courthouse that are incarcerated. So we were able to secure ARPA funds to help restore these toilet facilities in the courthouse. It's a big deal because it has affected court operations, but now we've got several $1 million to fix our plumbing problem in the courthouse, if you can believe it. We're on our way. And again, this is all ARPA money. We have not come to you for any of this money. This is all ARPA money. Other highlights is, and that's because of the reputation of our court, the ability to resolve these disputes in a timely manner, and having a specialized court to handle these with judges who know what they're doing. So again, I just like to put in context of your investment in the Delaware courts when we're asking you for more money.
Defendants who have committed these low-level crimes and trying to, it's an effort at restorative justice rather than punishment.
If I can interject for just a quick moment, I believe we had some additional funding in last year's budget specifically for that initiative.
We had asked for funding for our full-time coordinator, but did not get it in last year's budget. We will expand the Community Resource Center with the money that we received for the Custom House. That is part of that project, and we did receive funding for that.
Well,
Could you come forward, please, Director?
and if I'm getting it wrong, that's why I wanted you to step forward and tell me.
Could you one seat be vacated, please?
Maybe I can better explain it. As I understand it, we asked for some give back money. Is that fair? To help manage a budgetary crisis a few years back, and now we've kind of kept that give back in play. Is that how I'm explaining, or is that for the education side?
No, that's I'm not sure I follow what you're alluding to right now. I think this was more related to kind of an overall conversation that I think we need to have with the courts and
Please begin.
If you wish to provide public comment for the Delaware Judiciary, please click the raise hand button at the bottom of your screen. When I call your name, you'll receive a notification to be unmuted. Please unmute yourself and begin your comments. Individuals will have 2 minutes to speak, and organizations will have 3. If you're with an organization, please state it at the beginning of your comments. When your time is up, your microphone will be muted, and written comments may be submitted anytime to jfc_public_comment@delaware.gov.
A lot of veterans out of the justice that we feel that their service to our country has earned them. Sometimes we come back from war, and sometimes we're not the same person. And sometimes we need help. And that's what we're asking the courts to provide to our veterans. Thank you very much. Thank you, and you guys have a nice day, you guys and girls, and be safe.
OCA funding gap. Thank you for that funding allocation. Without it, services would be drastically cut. Hopefully, the funding will actually be released soon and made available to programs. Delawareans greatly appreciate that you prioritize safety as you work on balancing fiscal and community concerns. A key key component of safety is the construction of the new courthouse downstate. We appreciate the funding for this project. Thank you again for supporting the funding for classy and domestic violence services. In closing, thank you for your time, best wishes, and peace to you in your work.
Thank you. Next is D. Marquis Hall. D, you should now be able to unmute yourself and begin your comment.
Good afternoon. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. Please proceed with your comment.
Okay. Thank you. I'm actually zooming in from Georgia right now. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. If I was in Delaware, I would be there in person. I'm here to advocate for public safety, for this body to do what must be done. I'm here as an individual today. I could be here with several different organizations that I've worked with, including the Campaign to End Debtors Prison and the Coalition to Dismantle the New Jim Crow, including the Delaware Poor People's Campaign, who I currently work with, and Cairo's Prison Ministry. But I'm here as an individual today because this state, Delaware, has people that are incarcerated who have been locked up for about 50 years and over, who are senior citizens now and have not been charged with murder. People like Emmanuel Redding, who now goes by the name Sheikh Ali. People like Ronald Payne, who now goes by the name Tayer Uhuru. Uhuru means freedom. When we talk about money, because that's what this body's talking about, it can't be smart to keep people that are seniors that need the best medical treatment, that need better health care, that need to be taken out of where they're at and brought to Delaware and other places. Emmanuel Redding is locked up in Trent, New Jersey right now. And a couple weeks ago, he had to have a mental health assessment in Delaware. So he had to be moved from Trenton to Delaware to have this mental health assessment so that hopefully he'll be paroled out so that he can start the transition back to his life, back to his family, back to his grandchildren.
Thank you. I'm sorry your time has expired. Mr. Chairman, it does not appear that there are any additional...
So I was cut off, and what I could have said, should have said, would have said if I had the time, if I wasn't cut off, was that it makes absolutely no sense at all for us to be paying for people who are 70 years old, 80 years old to stay in prison, to be treated at hospitals outside of the prison when they should be home with their families, with their grandchildren and great-grandchildren who they have never met. Emmanuel Redding had to come home for a mental health assessment so that he could be deemed smart enough or able enough mentally to come home to his family. His sister, who he will stay with when he is released, lives only 3 blocks away from the Hope Center, from the Achievement Center, from where mental health and other services are provided to people who are transitioning back into society from prison. He needs to be released. He needs to be home, along with some of the other men who have been locked up for 50 years, like Tayer Uhuru and Abdul Shabazz.
Another question then, it looks like we're also, because later on down there, we're not increasing under the Office of Conflicts Counsel. That number is a study on, but you're saying that's put up in body camera.
Correct. It's a programmatic appropriation.
Okay. So then the other question is I noticed, and it might have been explained when they were doing the orientation, but under public defender, it looks like we're increasing about 9, and you're telling me you're having difficulty hiring, you've got vacancies. So what's the total? I think before we sort of heard the total.